Today, we're going to take a journey to a place that feels more alien than another planet, but, it's right here on Earth. We're diving deep into the massive, mysterious, and almost completely unknown world that's just beneath the waves, the deep ocean. So let's just kick this off with a fact that is, well, it's pretty hard to wrap your head around. Take a look at this. Scientists figure we've only explored about 5% of our planet's oceans. That means a staggering 95% of the world's biggest habitat is still a total mystery to us. And just to put that in perspective for you, we have a complete, detailed map of the surface of Mars, a planet that's 54 million kilometers away. And yet we don't have one single good map of our own ocean floor. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. We know more about distant worlds than we do about the deepest parts of our own. And it's not just about the maps either. 12 people have actually walked on the moon, spending a combined 300 hours up there. But only a tiny handful of people have ever gone to the deepest part of our ocean, the Mariana Trench, and they've spent barely 3 hours there in total. The deep sea really is our planet's final frontier. Okay, so let's dive in. Our journey is going to start at the surface, in a layer you might even be familiar with, the sunlit zone. It's warm, it's bright, and it's absolutely teeming with most of the ocean life that we all know and love. So at about 40 meters down, we hit the general safety limit for recreational scuba diving. I mean, it feels deep when you're down there, but in the grand scheme of things, we've barely even scratched the surface. But if you push way past that, you get to 332 meters. This is the incredible world record depth for a scuba dive set by Ahmed Gabar. To help you picture that, just imagine the entire Eiffel Tower completely underwater. That's how deep this guy went. Now, as we plunge past that record, we cross this invisible line at 200 meters. We're officially leaving the familiar world behind and entering the Twilight Zone. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. The sunlight just fades away to only 1% of what it is at the surface. The temperature plummets, the pressure starts to build, and the creatures, well, they start to get very, very strange. Down here, even the most impressive animals from the surface hit their limits. A blue whale, the largest animal to ever live, can only dive to about 500 meters. The emperor penguin, an absolutely incredible deep diving bird, maxes out just a little bit further down at 565 meters. So why is that? Because beyond this point, there's so little light that photosynthesis becomes impossible. No plants can grow. From here on down, life have to play by a completely different set of rules. We're now at 830 meters. To give you some scale, if you took the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa, and just sank it into the ocean, its very tip would be right about here. And it's at this depth that you'd really start to feel the most hostile force of the deep, the pressure. The weight of all that water above you is now immense. It's roughly the same as having a small car just sitting on your head. 1,000 meters down, we are now officially in the midnight zone. All the sunlight is gone. This is a world of absolute, permanent darkness, and this is where the ocean's real mysteries begin. So, remember that small car? Yeah, forget the small car. The pressure here is now over 100 times what it is at the surface. It's been described as feeling like an African elephant standing on every single square inch of your body. And, this perfectly illustrates what that kind of crushing pressure actually does. Let's talk about the blobfish. Down here, in its natural habitat, it's a totally normal, muscular-looking fish. The intense pressure is what holds its body together. But when it's brought up to the surface, all that support is gone, and it collapses into that gelatinous, blob that we all know from the internet. So let's keep going, down to 2,200 meters. We're now entering the realm of titans. This is where you find the giant squid, a creature that can be up to 13 meters long with eyes the size of dinner plates. Literally the largest in the entire animal kingdom. And it's down here, in the pitch black, that they fight these epic battles with their one and only natural predator, the sperm whale. At 3,800 meters, we find something that's almost hauntingly familiar, the wreck of the Titanic. It's a human story, just preserved in the cold, crushing darkness, resting on the seabed for over a century now. And if you want to understand the forces at this depth, the pressure on the hull of the Titanic is equal to stacking 4 African elephants on an area the size of your fingertip. This is the very same force that caused that catastrophic implosion of the Titan submersible back in 2023. But the Titanic is not the end of our journey. We are going even deeper. Below 4,000 meters, we enter the abyssal zone. And then below that, at 6,000 meters, we reach the Hadal Zone, which is very fittingly named after Hades, the Greek underworld. This isn't just an ocean anymore. It's another world, so alien and so hard to reach that it's still almost completely unknown to science.
Now, what's really fascinating about this depth, about 6,100 meters, is how it connects this seemingly remote, hostile world directly to our everyday lives up here.
Because it's right here, laid across these vast, dark plains of the ocean floor, where you'll find the undersea cables that carry 99% of all global internet traffic. So why here? Well, because despite the insane pressure, the seabed is surprisingly stable. It's free from weather, from ships, from all kinds of other disturbances. The very explainer that you're watching right now traveled through this dark, silent world just to get to you. It's an incredible connection between our daily lives and one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. And as we've said, very few people have ever made it this deep. The history of human exploration down here is short, but it's heroic. From that very first pioneering descent way back in 1960 to the discovery of the Titanic to James Cameron's solo mission in 2012, every single trip is a monumental undertaking.
And finally, we arrive at the bottom, nearly 11,000 meters, or 11 kilometers straight down. This is Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on planet Earth. To put that into perspective, this depth is greater than the cruising altitude of a commercial airplane is a height. Just think about that.
So, after a journey through total darkness, through freezing temperatures, and pressure that would vaporize a human being in an instant, you'd expect to find absolutely nothing. But you'd be wrong. Life finds a way. Meet the Mariana snailfish. This small, almost ghostly-looking creature thrives at depths around 8,000 meters. It has these unique enzymes and a flexible skull that somehow stop it from being crushed. Now, the pressure it withstands is over 16,000 pounds per square inch. So what does that actually feel like? It means this little fish is constantly enduring a weight of over 1.7 million kilograms. That is more than the total weight of a fully loaded Boeing 777, just pressing down on its tiny body every single moment of its life. It's almost unbelievable. And that brings us to our final thought. The snailfish is just one marvel that we've found in that tiny 5% of the ocean we've managed to get a glimpse of. It completely redefines what we thought was possible for life. So it really just leaves us with one incredible question. If this is what's out there in the 5% we know about, what else is waiting to be discovered in the other 95%?